The data hub in Football Manager is rubbish. I know it, you know it, everyone knows it. The UI is clunky, sometimes the stats that you want to find aren't even there. When you do get into the stats, it's really overwhelming, it's really tough to find what you want to find. So what I've done is I've gone and created my own tool. I've learnt Python, I've set this up as a web-based program, and I'm giving it away for free. My tool will let you understand your squad better, find transfer targets, and use actual data in the game to allow you to see these players side by side, sort of. The joy of it all is it does it all in seconds, not 20 clicks and a clunky UI. So before you can use the tool, you'll actually have to use an export tool mod. That'll allow you to pull the data from the game, get that into Excel or Google Sheets, and then upload that into the tool. Don't worry, we'll get onto all of that in just a minute. This video by Musterman is the one you need to watch. I will link in the description below the video, and it will be in the top right corner for you to click on. And there'll be a link in the description as well about how to download that tool and where to get it from. So once you've watched the Musterman video and downloaded the tool you need and got it installed, what you then need to do is head over to clf.fm.card.co, which is linked in the description below because that's not really easy to remember. And you can see there that links you into the two tools that I've created. We are focusing on the data analysis tool in this video, and there'll be a future video to come around the player roles tool because that's something else I've been working on as well. But this website will also link you into my download section that you can see in there, and that is where you need to download the views that are in there, and that's it really. You just need to download 2 views and then everything else is online. Diving into the game, how does it all work? Well, what you need to do first off is import the view. By doing that, you can just right click. This is the view, by the way, for the data, but all you need to do is right click on here, import view, and then find these. You just need to move them into your local drive, which is like your main documents drive, sports interactive, and then views or filters or something like that. I think it's views, but yeah, in there, just put them in there. That's what you need to do. Import it. This one is obviously the all data search. You'll notice the right one because it's got the CLF logo on it. Import that, bring that in, and then this is what it will look like. This is just a bog standard no filter database, hence why we've got 5,474 players. But the first thing we're going to look at using this is looking at our own squad. So that's a very easy filter. You just go to club, your club is, and it contains Piacenza, because that's who we are in my youth academy save. If you're not following that, you apply that and it finds no one because I've obviously spelt that wrong. Club, if club contains, oh, you need to go into exclude and players in Piacenza squad. Apply. There we go. That is now everybody that we have used in our squad. So the easiest thing for me to do is just not bring along anyone that's played 0 minutes because I don't want to see what they're doing in terms of our squad and how everybody's comparing it. You tick all of the ones that you want to bring along, and then just Control P once you've installed all the programming and stuff to do it. The mod, you will see it will flick down in the background. Once that's done, you can hit confirm. So it will bring it out into your document folder, so Sports Interactive, and then it will create a Football Manager 2026 folder. When you install it, click on there, and it will be, you can see this is where I've been doing it for all the others, it will be this export file. So this export file, all you need to do is open it. If you're on Excel, you need to open it, click on column A, go to Data, Text to Columns, Delimited, next, change from tab to semicolon and finish, and that'll separate out all the data and just press save. If you're doing this via Google Sheets, you don't need to do that. Just make sure it's saved as a CSV file once you've put it into Google Sheets. So now you just go into the internet, you go to the CLF homepage as we discussed in the previous bit of the video, click on data analysis tool. That will take you to where the tool is stored online. It's stored in, I think, something called streamlit.app because I've created it in Python, so they host it for free for me. You can either click on the upload button or you can just drag and drop the file in there. So I know it's this second one here, drop it in and it'll automatically create a nice system for you. So what we're now looking at is the first thing here will never show more than like 5 or 6 rows. That's just showing you if that turns up, it's working. That's all you need to worry about. What you can do here is you can enter your club name, but we don't need to do that right now because we're not searching for transfers and stuff. There's a little minutes played thing here where you can filter to see how many, you can filter it yourself to put how many minutes on there. The reason that's in there is because in Football Manager, you can't shorten the amount of minutes. It's 0, 1,000, 2,000, 3,000, 4,000, 5,000, right? So at least in here, you can pull out whoever you want and then manually search by your minutes played. Right, then you get your player index scores. So your player index scores are how well the player scores in all of these things: defensive dominance, aerial dominance, position reliability, progressive threat, press resistance, ball carrying, creative, chance creation, attacking threat, and goal threat. So the higher the number on overall scouting index, the better the player has performed via the data over all these metrics. And then obviously you can look at different ones individually if you wanted to. So the biggest goal threat we have at the club is our top scorer, Angelo Fucci. That's not a surprise. The biggest chance creator we have is Grimaldi, which is a surprise. A little youngster in there who's had a bit of a nasty injury this season, but he is creating a lot of chances for teammates. The best ball carrier that we've got is Cosentino, our left wing back. The most reliable in possession is Gramellini, one of our centre backs, which is quite cool. In terms of aerial dominance, Francia is our most aerial dominant player. And just coming through here, you can get an idea of who is performing well in your squad. You can easily use this bit if you're taking over a squad midway through season and you're looking at the data in terms of the way they've played and how they've performed. What you could do is come in here and look at all the positions and see who's actually like playing well. Now, the league adjusted score, you don't need to worry about that in this case when you're looking at your own team, because that will come into play when we're looking at transfer targets. But yeah, you can come in, you can select centre back, who's the best centre back in terms of data that we've got going on at the moment, who's the best deep line playmaker, and it goes all the way through. And rather than do every single role, because that would have been absolutely ridiculous to put up an index for every single role, they're sort of combined into different roles. So you have your goal scoring forwards, strikers that are there purely to score goals. You've got your target man, that one speaks for itself. They're there to win headers and hold up the ball. You've got your channel forward as well, players that are looking to make more runs, don't get offside, don't get caught offside, score goals, create goals, and things like that. Your wingers are split into a traditional winger, a goal scoring winger. The number 10s are split into a classic number 10, a shadow striker, an advanced playmaker. We've got an advanced midfielder in there. We've got a traditional winger. So you can see this gives you quite a lot of options to look at in terms of sorting out your squad from a data perspective. This will allow you to see if someone is actually performing as well as you think they are when you watch the games or see highlights and things like that. Now, what I absolutely love about this is that you can actually compare your squad all to each other as well. So if you want to see, well, who's doing the most defensive actions and winning the most possession as part of those defensive actions, you get these nice little graphs that show you anything in the top right is very, very good. Anything in the bottom left is generally not very good. So you've got a 0-0 here, which is Daniel Aventi, who is a striker who's not really played any minutes. He has done no defensive actions and he has not won possession once in the 90 minutes or within 90 minutes that he's been playing. But down at the other end, we've got Aiello, who's a centre-back. We've got Francia, who's the right wing-back. We've got Carbone, our experienced centre-back in there, Cosentino, Fiori. So you can get from this that within the squad, we've got a number of people that are actually very good at winning the ball back. And then you've got these people that are really good at recovering the ball, but they don't do too many defensive actions. I'm going to guess that these two are both goalkeepers. Guerrero and Stefano G. Yeah, it's the two goalkeepers, which is fine. But yeah, you can go through these and actually see useful information about your team. So how many people are challenging for lots and lots of headers? So headers attempted, like you got 250 up here, and who is winning a large amount? Again, anything in the top right means they're challenging for lots of headers and winning over 50% of them. So up here you've got Marco Carbone. He is attempting 246 headers so far this season, and he's won 65% of them, which is absolutely incredible. You've got Cesar Catalano, he's attempted 162, he's won 52%. And then you've got Giacomo Aioli, who's won 130, or attempted 130 and won 71% of them. They're not too far behind. You've got 128 and 74%. And over here, you've got Paletta, who has won 100% of his headers. He's attempted 3 of them and won 3 of them. And then you've got Sena, who has attempted 2 and won 2 of his headers as well. So again, useful information, which is much easier to see for your team. You can do it for strikers and more attacking things as well. So finishing over performance v shots on target. So these people here are having a lot of XG open play XG, but they're not hitting their targets with that many shots, to be honest. Again, down here, Marziale from central midfield is a very ineffective shooter. And it does give you each graph has a little quadrant source, so the colours will tell you what they are and what they're doing. And again, That's going to come in very, very useful when we look at transfer targets. But what if we want to compare ourselves to the league that we're in? Let's go and see how my Piacenza team matches up against Serie A. Okay, so we're back in the game, and what we want to do is see how we're performing against other teams in Serie A. So again, we can just remove our Piacenza thing. You can go into club, you can go into division, you can say playing is in Serie A. And then this one, we're going to put a little caveat on it because obviously we're going to get loads and loads of players come through who haven't actually played that many games. So we're going to go to minutes and we'll put at least 1,000. Again, we can filter that a bit further if we want to. And let's go for people that are playing in a centre-back role. We play 3 centre-backs. Let's see how our centre-backs are comparing to the other centre-backs in the division that have played over 1,000 minutes. So again, you press apply, it will narrow the list down. This time we've only got 17 people. And you can see we've got Piacenza. So we do have 3. We've got 3 people in there that have played over 1,000 minutes at centre-back this season. So tick them all, press Control P, it's happening in the background, press confirm. That'll be this third spreadsheet. We open up that spreadsheet because I'm using Excel. So we come into here, you go click on column A, data, text to columns, delimited, make sure tab is unselected, put it on semicolon and finish, and then save that, and you no longer need to worry about that spreadsheet. So we go back to the tool. You can either delete this one completely that resets it, or there is a little plus sign there that you can use if you want to. We'll drag the third one that we've got in there. And there we go. This is all the centre backs. The thing is loaded, which means it's gone incorrectly. There are error messages that are set at certain points. So if something doesn't load properly, you'll get a little yellow or red error message in there. So don't worry about that. In this case, we can enter Piacenza. By the way, you don't have to put the full name. If you're Man City, you can put Man City. If you're Leverkusen, you can put Leverkusen rather than Bayer 04 Leverkusen. But yeah, you can do that. So Piacenza are in there, and now what you'll see is this source thing will now list your club, or if they're external to your club. So let's go like that, and we'll put our club people at the top, and we can get a rough idea to see how they are performing in these indexes. But what I'm actually more concerned with is coming down into these rankings. So if we go into our centre-back rankings, you can see that judging by our centre-back rankings, we actually have the 3rd and 4th best data rated centre-backs in the league. We are behind Empoli's Eduardo Giacobi and Fiorentina's Ayoub Hussein. So we are doing very, very well with Alioli and Torres. We've actually got Gennari up there as well. He's having a good time. Now, what this doesn't do is that it's not including Carbone, who is actually playing at centre-back for us, because his natural best position is holding midfielder, so he's not going to be in this list. But what we can then do is come into scouting visuals and again get an idea for how are we performing. Now, anything with a diamond means it's your player. So these ones with circles are going to be Ridlioff, who plays for Frosinone. We have Mahamadou Tavares, who plays for Torino. And then we've got these 3 here, which are ours. Aioli's up there. We've got Torres up there. And we've got Gennari here. So in terms of, and then we have one more here, Gramellini. Didn't even realise we had a 4th in there. There is Gramellini. But in terms of defensive actions, the amount of defensive actions people are doing, so they're pressing the ball, they're attempting tackles, they're getting interceptions, they're blocking shots and things like that, and how often they win possession, we actually have 3 elite ball winning defenders at our club, and there are only 3 other elite ball winning defenders in Serie A in total. So we're looking pretty good in terms of the data there. Now, another key one for defense is you can have a look at ground v aerial duels. So this is where you want your players to be in this top right quadrant, because that is a complete defender. They are winning their tackles and they are winning their headers. So whoever this is, which is Fioria Marabesi from Frosinone, is having a fantastic time as a defender, a fully defender centre-back. He's winning his tackles, he's winning his headers. We have one in here who's elite, just getting into the elite squadron, which is David Gennari, so he's doing a really good job. And then we actually have the other 2, which is Torres and Gramellini down here, and that is saying they are actually very, very bad at winning their duels. So they're not winning that many headers, and they're not winning as many tackles as we'd like them to. So that's something we'll have to have a look at. Over here we have Alioli. He is a ground specialist, so he's actually, no, he's not. That should be the other way around. He's a heading specialist. So I've found an error already, because aerial specialism is this side, because this is where the x-axis is. So he's actually winning 71% of his headers, but he's only winning 61% of his tackles. And compared to everybody else in the league, that makes him relatively poor at winning his tackles as a centre-back. So it allows us to compare ourselves against other teams in the league rather than getting jumbled down in that data hub. This is showing you easy to read graphs, easy to read information around scores from data. And if you want to dig a little bit further, you can go in here and have a look at who's actually doing better in terms of dominance, in terms of aerial dominance. And then, yeah, you're looking pretty good. I think this is a hell of a lot easier to use than the data hub. And then the final thing to do with your own squad is to compare it to multiple leagues. So if we go back to the game and we add in Serie A, and then let's say we want to add in, I don't know, we'll add in another one, which is going to be, what's a good league? Let's go the top three. We'll look at the top three leagues, right, which is in this game, which is the Premier League. So we'll go with all there, and we'll just bump that minutes one up, and then we'll go for a club based in a division. We'll go and we'll look at La Liga, because that is the other one in here. So La Liga, like that. Apply for that. That's going to get us 27 players, so an extra 10 players who have played 10,000 minutes in this game, in this save. Control P. We'll do all of this. I'm not going to show you all of it. We can do this off the camera because you know how this works. So going back to the tool, we've now set up our spreadsheet properly. You can click this little plus thing if you want. It's this fourth one here, and it will just replace it. It doesn't add it to it. I don't know why it's a plus button. It doesn't add it to it, but this is now looking at all of the centre backs that have played over 1,000 minutes in the top three leagues in our game. So yeah, we can come down here and we can see from centre back score, the best one is still Giacombi from Empoli. I'm not surprised by that because Italy is actually the only league I have fully running because it's a youth academy save, so I know I'm not going to sign anybody. But Alfie Harris is up there from Bournemouth. We've got Maldano from Eibar and things like that. So again, let's just make sure that we write, well, click Piacenza. It's got cookies on it, so it'll remember what you've typed, and that'll immediately update to where we are, really, and that'll put our players in here. So again, we'll get more graph points and we can see how we're doing in the top three leagues as centre backs. And you can see we dropped from having lots of good players for defensive actions v possession 1 to actually now only having one, which is Aioli in there. We get a number of people that drop down into this busy defender role where they're doing lots of defensive actions but actually not winning possession back as often as other players in this field, and it just allows you to compare your team to lots of other players in there, which is great, which is really, really good. And I think that's awesome. If you're wondering why there's lots of zeros down here, it's because most people don't ask their centre backs to dribble, so their dribbles per 90 minutes is going to be really, really low, so 0 or 0.1, apart from this guy who is Prince Cisse, who is dribbling 1.4 times every 90 minutes. That is incredible for a centre-back. That is absolutely incredible. So there you go. But yeah, you can have a look, judge it how you want to judge it, see what's going on, and you can compare your team to however many people from however many different divisions you want, which is something you just cannot do in the data hub. It'll only show you a comparison against your own team, which leads me nicely onto how to use this for transfers. Okay, we're now in a game where I am the Leverkusen manager. I've been playing this game as a data-only save, and the quick premise of it is that I have to leave the club if I win the league. We've just won the league with Bayer Leverkusen. I started this with Roma and I won the league there, so now we'll be looking for a new club when I carry on this save in my own personal time. But what you can see is I was last looking for a goalkeeper. I was trying to find some things that work with goalkeepers. Data for goalkeepers is really a pain in the arse. So what we're going to do is we're not going to look for goalkeepers at all. We're going to take that off, and we're going to take that off as well. And what we're going to do is we're going to try and take expected save percentage off. We're going to try and find a player who is between 15 and we'll go for like 28. I think that's pretty good. Who's played over 1,000 minutes this season. We're at the end of the season. Who is we'll look at a centre back again, and we've got goalkeeper still on there. So we'll go centre back, and let's go with, we're going to look, because I know what divisions I've got loaded, so we are going to load in the divisions. Let's go condition, club, divisions. I probably could have explained this a little bit better, but I wanted to give a bit of an in-depth tutorial around how to use this tool, because I think people, once you get the most out of it, it's really, really easy, and it's really, really, it makes life so much easier. I know I've created it, but it really does make life so much easier. So again, we'll go for division, and we'll get England in there as well. Where's England? England, there it is, Premier League. So that's Bundesliga, La Liga Sports. We've got another Bundesliga in there. So let's go up to France and we'll go for Ligue 1. And then we just need Italy. So club, division, and Italy. And if you're doing this by divisions, just to remind you, you do have to change these to or. You only want one on as and the rest done as or. So we're now looking for centre backs between the ages of 15 and in fact let's say we want someone that can come in the first team. So we'll go 21 to 28 who's played over at least 1,000 minutes this season that are in the top 5 divisions. So we'll press apply. That gives us 149 players of varying levels of ability and varying levels of club and things like that. In fact, what we're going to do, because I need to show you this as well. Yeah, we are going to add in another little, do a couple of divisions in here. So we're going to go club division and we're going to go or, and then we're going to change one of these to, what's a good division to show you? Let's go, let's chuck in Slovenia, Premier Liga, and we'll chuck in let's chuck in Portugal, the Portugal Super League. We'll go with that. Right. So that's going to increase our numbers now to 193, which is good. It's going to give us a large data set. Now, obviously, we don't have, that wasn't at the top, was it? We don't have, by the way, if you're wondering why my game's going a little bit slower, it's actually because this is a cloud save. And I've realized that cloud saves, generally everything on them processes slower. But yeah, there's a little bit of information for you. Right, we've now ticked everyone. We'll press Control P. We'll come back once that's done and I've sorted out the spreadsheet. All right, so we're starting on a blank data analysis tool thing. We'll load in the spreadsheet that we just got. And in an instant, even with all those players, it's loaded in. There's really no worrying and processing time about how to do it. Now we've got 1,000 minutes selected, so we could up that to 1,500 if we wanted to, and it would filter out anyone that hasn't played or has played less than 1,500. But for now, we'll stick with that. We are Leverkusen, so that will work in there nicely, which means we can see. And do we have, yeah, there you go. We have 3 centre backs in this list, so we do have we have players to compare to, and this is where it becomes really, I think, awesome for transfers, right? Because what we can do is we know we are looking for a centre back and we have nobody in that top list of anyone out there. So not saying we can afford all of these, not saying what's happening, but what you'll notice is that everybody here is in a tier 1 league other than Goncalo Inacio, who is playing at Sporting Lisbon. So a tier 2 league is rated at 0.9, whereas the league strength score of 1 for tier 1 is 1. So all these divisions have lower rankings. If you want to make sure that's worked correctly, it will tell you all the leagues it's found and then whether it can be matched. So in our case, we have the 5 top tier leagues that we have here. We have Spain, Italy, Germany, France, and England. We have Portugal coming as in a tier 2 league, and then we have Slovenia, which is outside the top 40 in terms of the Opta power rankings for the leagues. Now, some of these might be wrong, but you just got to let me know with a comment or a message on Discord and see how it goes. So if you're outside the top 40, you get ranked at a quarter of the value of a tier 1 league because your league is so much weaker than, example, the Premier League. But yeah, so you can look at that. And if there's any unmatched ones unassigned, it will tell you down here as well, which is good. Now, the only thing I've ever found with this is that sometimes you will get a defender, and it only ever seems to be defenders that randomly get assigned to the Saudi Premier League, even though they're not in the Saudi Premier League. I don't know why. It's something as the data pulls out the game. It's quite rare, but just be aware of it. Now, obviously, it hasn't happened here because if it had, the Saudi Premier League would be coming in here, or there would be a league name based in, and it would have a different country, and it wouldn't work. It would also come up in this list if it doesn't recognize what the league is. So, yeah. There you go. That's a little bit of admin that's been built into the game for you. But long-winded way of saying what that allows us to do is actually look at who could be a potential bargain around here. Because what we've got to do is try and find people that are better than our current players, but cheaper, less wages, a bit of a Moneyball approach around using this system. So you can see here who's in it. And then again, all the graphs will load and you can see where people are performing well. Now you're getting a lot more graph data sets, which means you'll get a lot of information that looks like it's straight lined. That just means there's a lot of people that are doing, for example, the same amount of defensive actions per 90 minutes or over the period of time that we're looking at, for example. Again, you get the diamonds means that they're your players in here. So we have one which is a low output at our club, so that's the diamond there. Fabio Charido is doing low defensive actions and not winning possession back very often. But yeah, it allows you again to very quickly see. So aerial duels, we have dominant players here. Gabriel is a dominant player in the air, but again, doesn't make one of these lists at the top. So you can take this information and go and have a look and see, well, is there anyone who could be a bit of a bargain? So Inacio being up there from a tier 2 league, you're probably likely to go and get him a little bit cheaper than you would someone from the Premier League or the La Liga or Serie A or something like that. The other way that I like to do it is also have a look to see who's near the top from a less fanciable team. So Mallorca, Wolfsburg would probably be quite cheap one. We can have a look at Matthias Angeli. So just go back into the game. And then you've got two ways of doing this. You can either try and find their name in here. When you've got a long list of players, I don't want to search through 193 players. So I'll just come in here and search for Matthias Angeli. There he is. And he's 22 years old and he'll cost you 7.8 million. Right, let's put that into perspective. So Matthias Angeli is rated as a better data defensive player than Mickey van der Ven at Spurs. So let's go and have a look. 7.8 million with a wage of 29.5 to 33.5. If we go and look at Van der Ven, while that loads up, as I said, it's on a cloud save. So Mickey van der Ven, 53 to 68 with £160,000 to £225,000 a week. Automatically, I would be like, okay, 100%, we're going for the Wolfsburg player to see what's happening. So let's have a little look here, right? You can ask agent about availability. We'll just say we're happy to sign. 55 to 68 million, 210 to £275,000 a week. I know for a fact that is well outside of my budget in this save for me to bring in a player on those wages. So Matthias Angeli, let's go and talk to his agent. We're keen on signing him. He's happy to move. He's already in Germany as well, which is an advantage for us in this league. But 5.6 to 6.6 million, 26.5 to £37,000 a week. That, my friends, is how you use data to find bargains, and I guarantee you he will play well in your system. He would play well in your system. The way this is set up to look for data, it uses the indexes that were on the how to find an elite centre back video, and yeah, that's how you would use this for transfers, in my opinion. The more leagues you have loaded, the better. I do think it helps to have a full played league in here, but the game does create data in the background for all those other players as well. So yeah, we can see. So our best, let's have a look. Our best rated, I want source, don't I? Our best rated defender in data wise, 62.9 is Thiago Gabriel, right? So if we then adjust back by there and we'll have a look, maybe a search function here would make this a bit easier as well, but we can actually go down and keep going and search by club. So technically, anybody above Gabriel there in this list is a better defender, judging by the data, and they're all ranked in the same division unless we've got that one tier 2 for Inacio in here. So I'd be looking at the likes of Afengruber from Elche. I'll be looking at Kouachi. I don't know why he's come through twice, but that's okay. Jean Martin from Real St. Sebastian or Real Sociedad. I'd be looking at all these players that are playing at weaker clubs than us and wondering if we can pick up a little bargain. So interestingly, it's Van Heck who's at the top of this list. So let's dive back into the game and we'll have a look at Van Heck and see what his value is as the best data defender that we have found. 40 to 53 million pounds and £100,000 to 150k. That is a lot of money. Yeah. So I've been using this tool for this save, and if we just go and have a look at my first team in here, the one thing I'm very proud of is that we have nobody that earns over £100,000 and we've won the league. And I did the same at Roma, and I sell off anyone that has over £100,000. And yeah, we build a team that is not able or not allowed to break £100,000 in wages. But then with that, we've bought in, we've made absolutely loads of money. So if you go to the overview and go to transfers, no, not transfers, I wanted to go to recruitment and transfer history in here. We have signed players for 43 million, sold players for 113 million. Last year, we bought in 235.5 worth of transfers. We sold 112 million in terms of transfers. So we are making money hand over fist, and we are having a bloody good time of it without breaking the bank on wages. And I think that is where this tool is absolutely brilliant to help you find players, compare them from data in the same game, in the same season, and it works wonderfully. So what I've done there is waffle on quite a while showing off something I've created, and I hope you all get the best out of it. This is free. You can use this for free. You've just got to have the right views, put them into your game, extract the data using a free mod that someone's created, as the Musterman video shares, and then sort out that spreadsheet. If you're doing it on Google Sheets, I don't think you need to do anything. If you're doing it on Excel, you need to go to row A or column A, data, text to column. The first one, you just press next. The second one, you change it from tab to semicolon and press finish, and then just save the sheet, upload it into the tool, and it will process it all for you nice and easily. This replaces a pretty useless data hub. You can now compare your team and your players to other players and other teams in different divisions, not just your division. You can use it to go and find data-led transfers, try and find those bargains, try and find those people that overperform in terms of their league or their data, and built into it is a system that allows you to judge the leagues correctly in terms of, well, the Portuguese league is worse than the Premier League, so if someone's performing really well in the Portuguese league, there's a little bit of a penalty compared to Premier League players, but if they're really outperforming what the Premier League players are doing in a worse league, you can probably still sign them and they'll fit in rather nicely. I think what I've designed, and hopefully what I've designed, is an easy to use tool to help people understand and utilize data better in Football Manager, and just give you a different way of playing the game and also make it fun. As I said, it's been too rambly from me. I'm not good at describing these sort of things unless, I've really thought about it and really wanted, but I wanted to get this out relatively quickly because I'm very proud and I'm very happy of it. So if you did want to support me, you can become a channel member. That helps me with time to create these things, and it shows that people appreciate it. There's no expectation for that. I also have a buy me a coffee link, which means you can donate a one-off donation with any amount you like, and it can be just a gratitude thing to say thank you. There again, no pressure for that whatsoever, but I really do hope that you get the most out of this tool. I really hope you enjoy it. I really hope you use it. Any issues, let me know in the Discord. Please do join the Discord. That's where all the discussions will be happening around this data, and show off your data of players that you find and buy, and how much for, and what wages was it compared to somebody else, and let's get some stories out there about good data purchases. But thank you so much for watching. I really hope you enjoy the tool. I really hope you like it. Let me know if there's any improvements. Let me know what you think could be done better. Let me know if you think it's going to be useful. I'll see you in the next one. Cheers.